Hey guys, welcome to Griffo's Retro Gaming, and I'm here today for the 12 streams of Christmas. I think I'm number 6, and today's topic is going to be our best Christmas ever. But before we get into that, I have got a few people with us. Still waiting on one. So we'll see how that goes. One change to the advertised as well. Kev from Longview and Friends couldn't make it, unfortunately, but we'll troop on without him. So you should all know me, but if you don't, if you're new to this, my name's Alex, and I've been, doing YouTube for about, 2 years maybe now, 2.5 years. So I'm pretty much like everybody else. I do gaming videos, pickups mainly, but I also do reviews and top 10s, things like that. But I'll introduce my first guest, who is Paul at Inked Northerner, if I can get this going. There we go. All right, Paul.
Evening. How's it going?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Actually, while I'm talking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hello there.
And our other one is James. So, yeah, we'll just go back to Paul. If you just want to introduce yourself.
I'm the Inked Northerner. I'm from the good part of the north in Lancashire, the Red Rose County.
Yeah.
He says we've been on a stream with 2 Yorkshiremen, but never mind. Pretty much same as Alex. If you've never seen my channel, I do a lot of gaming stuff, gameplay, pickups, just general gaming things. The odd film review, although if you ask Cooper's World, he'll tell you that I don't do film reviews because I've still got to do one for him. But yeah, just pretty much that's me.
Yeah, cool. Our next one is, if I can get this going, our next one is Nate from the Game Chat. And you've got me as well, Nate. I've not done a stream with you before, and I haven't really spoke to you much, so this will be a good one.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it, mate. Everyone should know me anyway. I basically play PS3 and solely PS3 at the minute because I'm trying to beat it all. Yeah, but other than that, I've been on a bit of a hiatus, but I'm back now to a degree, I suppose, and enjoying these 12 streams of Christmas. So it's good to be in part of one, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. They've all been really good so far. I'll just get us all back on. Yeah, they've all been really good so far. What I've seen, I've not seen all of them, but yeah, it's a good idea, this, and it was Game Zone Bedroom who came up with it, so fantastic idea to get the community together. So going on to our best ever, I should probably start this. And I suppose Christmas has really changed for me over the years. Obviously, going from a kid, it was all about how many presents I got and bragging to my mates how many sacks I got at Christmas. But as you grow up, obviously, that changes. It becomes more about family, doesn't it, and things like that. But my first best Christmas, I've got 2, but I think the best one at the time, because I was so excited, I threw up. I was that excited. Was getting my wrestling figures. I got loads of I don't know if you remember, Paul, loads of the Hasbro WWF figures. And I was so excited, so excited. I'd been asking for them for ages, and I caught my dad putting them out. So, yeah, that was also the day that Santa died. But yeah, I got some really good ones as well, because I think it was 93 maybe, and the new sets had come out, so I got a lot of, I can't remember what colour cardboard it was, maybe yellow on the back. But yeah, I got Mr. Perfect, which was one I wanted for ages. The new Macho Man, who had all the multicoloured things instead of the crown, King Macho. Kona Crush, I think I got as well. And
nice.
Yeah, really good. Looking back as well, I ended up selling them all for 20 quid when I sort of went off wrestling. So I had some really rare figures as well, unfortunately.
Cost you more than that to get them back now.
Oh, big time. I think I had Dusty Rhodes, and that was one of the more rare ones. I think he goes for about between 100 and 200 on its own. But let's go over to Nate then. What Christmas do you remember?
Going back that far, I mean, I remember I was heavily into Ghostbusters. When that film came out, I was heavily into it, and I remember I didn't know what I was getting for Christmas because I was a child at the time. But then I got the fire station. Do you remember the really big fire station? That was huge.
Yeah, I had that as well.
And the 4 figures to go with it, and Slimer, and like I was just so excited, and like that Christmas was like the best thing ever. But the thing was, we used to go to my nan's for dinner, so I could only take the figures with me, not the fire station, because it was so big. So we spent the afternoon at my nan's, and I'm just sat there going, I just want to go home.
You're just itching out.
Yeah, I just want to play. but no, I mean, again, similar to you though, I sold all my stuff off before I got into collecting. I mean, I had a full set of the 80s He-Man figures as well, a complete set, and I sold them off at the car boot for 13 quid.
Oh.
And I dread to think what that would be to get back now, if I'm honest.
Could do with Dana, he knows his figures, doesn't he? But yeah, wow.
Well, I think that same year as I got the thing, I got the Ghostbusters Proton pack as well.
Oh yeah, brilliant.
So yeah, it was pretty much just a Ghostbusters themed Christmas.
Just before we move on to Paul, actually, let's just go through this. John Bundy says, best Christmas for me was getting my Mega Drive along with the Sonic compilation. Sega did the best. Sega did a bundle of Sonic 1 and 2 and Mean Bean Machine on one cartridge. I remember that. I never had it.
I'm pretty sure it's hard to find that now.
It maybe is. Yeah. I don't remember it.
Okay, it could be rare. But I remember when like computers used to come with bundles. Like you used to be able to go into like game shops and pick what games you wanted to go with it. They don't seem to do that anymore, do they? Like when you used to go into like Game Station or Electronics Boutique and you could buy a pre-owned console with a selection of pre-owned games of your choice.
Yeah, your choice. That was the thing.
Yeah.
I don't tend to get that so much, see, like you say.
Yeah, I remember getting an Xbox 360 one year for my kids, and it was like you could pick 5 games of your choice, and it was this much.
Yeah.
For his kids, it was for him, really. He's not that much of a Sonic pony as he makes himself out to be.
Yeah.
Massively an Xbox 360 gamer. I didn't actually get a Sony PlayStation 3 until I had a PlayStation 4 before I had a PS3.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then I just went full Sony pony and sold it.
Going on to green now. Come on, Paul. What was your best Christmas memory?
So surprisingly, for a Rangers fan, green isn't the best colour, but so there's a few that stick in my mind. So I'll go to the earliest one that I can remember, and it's a similar to yourself, Alex. So my mum and my stepdad at the time, I guess, because he's my brother and sister's dad, and I'd only ever known him as my dad from like when I was born up until this age, and they'd split up, and I was living with him rather than with my mum. And my mum's youngest brother, who's not much older than me, really, he's about 13 years older than me. He came around with his girlfriend at the time with a load of presents on Christmas Day. And I got, similar to yourself, I got a load of wrestling figures. I got Macho Man in the lime green suit that he had with the tassels.
Yeah.
I got the Hulk Hogan that did I'm trying to think whether it was the one that did the Gorilla Press Slam, or whether that was the Ultimate Warrior, or whether it was the Hogan that did the punch or the clothesline. And I got the Ultimate Warrior, but I think my Warrior was the one that you push down and it would jump off.
Yeah.
And as well as that, he brought me the wrestling ring that on the corner had the spring that you could jump off.
Yeah.
So that was it. I was made up then. I mean, this is my uncle. I'm really close to him generally. And I used to go to his house when I started secondary school. He used to live across the road from my secondary school, and he used to go to his house to watch the pay-per-views and stuff. And so being so close, in age and stuff, it made sense. So that's my earliest Christmas memory. And I have 2 younger brothers, so like yourselves, I think my figures got handed down to my brothers. So rather than being sold, they were handed down.
Am I right in thinking, Paul, that wrestling ring with the corner post was the WCW ring, not the WWF one as well?
It might.
So I had both. I remember when I was younger, and I don't know why I had them both, but one came with like a steel cage with that corner piece. I'm pretty sure that was the WCW one.
I seem to remember WCW being a steel cage one as well. Yeah.
Without looking, I'm not 100% sure.
But I did have that one. You sort of put them onto the corner and just flicked them off. And they'd never land where you wanted them to.
Look who's here.
Hey!
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, motherfuckers. How you doing? I'm not late.
Get this stream shut down, why don't you? Jesus.
Just fashionably late, that's all it is.
You're 20 minutes earlier than I thought you were going to be.
But no one set me an alarm today. No one set me an alarm.
No, you set it for 8. You're
But
just on time.
Hey?
You're on time. It's your go. You need to introduce yourself to the few that might not know you, and then tell us about your best Christmas ever.
Hello, I'm Edward Graves. That is my name. That is my Christian name on this Christmas. But my channel name is Roller X Core or Roller Core because the X is silent. Well, yeah. So my favorite Christmas are we doing? Are we, or just any Christmas?
Not just any Christmas. No, I mean it could be a pair of socks, couldn't it? That I mean, like
could be
Christmas.
Well, yeah,
probably be from childhood, to be honest.
To give you some pointers, we were starting at like earlier Christmases that we remember, and probably going through to later ones, Eddie.
So you want 39 Christmases, dear?
No, yeah, every single one.
Nightmare. So, just want to point in as well, like you're talking about them wrestling rings and stuff like that, because I was there for a bit. Have you seen the new He-Man wrestling rings?
No.
I've seen some of the crossover stuff. I haven't seen.
There's they've just made a crossover wrestling ring with He-Man, Master of the Universe, and it's flipping amazing. I know Pedro's just picked one up as well. Yeah.
Is this going to make me want to buy it if I look at it?
Yeah, it's going to make. Well, yeah, it's pretty good. But not only that, but they've also crossed the wrestlers over, so you can get like Macho Man Randy Savage crossed with like I don't know someone from He-Man universe, and they're flipping amazing. But the figures cost like a fortune these days. That's the only thing. But you can get like a wrestling ring that's like kind of like crossed with Castle Grayskull, but you've also got a Snake Mountain one. But that one's like about 150 quid for that ring. So you might not want to.
You've got John Cena as He-Man.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Oh, you've done something.
That sounds awesome.
I've not got the figures. I've only got the ring. But I put like is it the Hasbro figures that you pull back and they've all got the actions? I've got like a load of them wrestling figures, and they're all in the ring. So, yeah.
Actually, Eddie, just before you do go, let's just have a look at Retro Bear. He says his favourite Christmas was when he got a Commodore 64. So in 2009, played Beachhead and Monty on the Run. I guess you was late to the party there.
Well, yeah, favourite Christmas. I mean, it's hard to say what my favourite one is, to be honest, because I had quite a lot of good Christmases, to be fair. I was quite one of them spoiled lads growing up. Never realised I was spoiled until, when you're older and you start chatting to other people and stuff. And, yeah. But, like, probably one of my favourite Christmas that I've ever had, well, we'll go like actual kidults and stuff like that. Like, one of my favorite ones was, can you ever remember like this Action Force like line? It was like, I think it was like a Star Wars ripoff called Manta Force.
I recognize the name.
Yeah,
didn't it have
this
a vehicle
year I thought
weird shaped front?
Yeah, it was sort of like a Millennium Falcon ripoff ish. So yeah, like one year I got like this Manta Force that was like in a huge box like this, and I was like, what is it? Like, you know, when you're a kid, all the presents, all that matters is what size they are under the tree. It's like the bigger they are, obviously the better they're going to be. And there was this one giant, huge box under the tree, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what this is, because I didn't know what it was going to be at all. All like not year, probably a few months, which back when you were a kid, a month leading up to Christmas was like, it did actually feel like a year, where nowadays it just like goes like this, doesn't it? But like, yeah, just waiting to see what this huge box was. And spoil it, haven't I? It was Manta Force. But I didn't know what Manta Force was at the time. I didn't know what it was. It was kind of like thrust upon me at Christmas, and I was like, after that, I was like obsessed with it. I was like loving it. I like this big Millennium Falcon thing, which I knew Star Wars, but I wasn't like obsessed with Star Wars as a kid. I just liked watching it. But like, what was cool about Manta Force is you took the lid off, and then there was all these other vehicles inside it.
Nice.
So it wasn't just like Star Wars. It did do its own thing. It was almost like Transformery. And so you had that, and you took all these little figures, and you could play with it. I played the hell of it for like years and years until all the parts sort of like disappeared one by one, and it was just like the shell of the Manta Force. But yeah, that was probably one of my favorite Christmas presents, because it wasn't something I was like really expecting to get. It just kind of appeared. Loved it. But my favorite Christmas that I ever had was one that kind of like wasn't supposed to be, and I think that's probably why it was like one of my favorite ones. It was probably 2005. I went to university. I kind of went a bit estranged to my parents, where I hadn't spoke to him for a whole year, and we fell out and stuff like that. And there was just like a bunch of us that were all the same at university, where we hadn't chatted. I'm old as shit. I am old as shit. You're right there. Yeah. So there was probably about 4 or 5 of us all like not having a Christmas, and I was just adamant of just staying at home, doing fuck all and stuff like that. And then we all was texting each other like, oh, should we do something? We all like got together on Christmas Day and was like, shit, do you know what? Christmas, we need some alcohol, because none of us had any alcohol. Finding alcohol in 2005 at Christmas is like one of the most impossible tasks you can ever do. We honestly went around, because at the time I was at Stoke-on-Trent at university there, and I was traveling around Stoke-on-Trent, all the 5 towns of Stoke-on-Trent, going to all the corner shops, all of them closed. I was like, surely one corner shop must be open on Christmas Day. No, we had to go to like a village outside of Stoke to get some alcohol. We must have traveled about 100 miles just to get some alcohol, and then we came back, went to a friend's house whose parents had gone away, took my DJ equipment, and we just like had a flipping party for like 2 days straight. It was amazing. But yeah, it just felt like it was so good about it. It felt like one of these like kind of Christmas movies, like where like you had this adventure to get to a certain point, and it was amazing. I just really loved it. And it's something that I've never forgot about. Just an amazing time. Not the most Christmassy, gotta say, it wasn't the most Christmassy, but it was my favorite Christmas.
Well, that's what this is all about. I mean, everyone has different things for fun, don't they? And things like that. Just before I go again, Game Zone Bedroom, 91 was my best Christmas ever. Unwrapped my Mega Drive Model 1, most beautiful bit of tech I ever seen. That's the second person to say Mega Drive. Now I'll go into my second one. I got a Mega Drive for Christmas one year, but it wasn't that I was most impressed with. Mine was my Game Boy, because it was something I wanted for ages. And, you know, everyone at school had one and I didn't. And I've got an older brother, so anything we got like a Mega Drive, things like that, we shared essentially. But the Game Boy was solely mine, and I just remember to this day opening it, and I had Hyper Load Runner. Tetris was a packing game with it, and I can't remember the other game. I seem to think it was Mario, but I could be wrong. There was another game. But yeah, my favourite out of them was Tetris. I just used to absolutely hammer it, and I still do to this day. I love it. But yeah, just to have something that was solely mine, and yeah, I was so happy with that. I don't know about any of you lot there. Nate, do you want to go?
Yeah, I forget. I had a Tetris Game Boy pack-in as well. I think everyone had that when they were a kid. And in fact, I've still got my original Game Boy from whenever that came. Whenever I got it, I think it was '91. I probably got mine.
I think there's actually two Tetris cartridges for every Game Boy ever made. I think that's a true story. Yeah. We all had at least 5. We all had about like at least 5 cartridges as a kid, didn't we? Growing up.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, as well, that song on Tetris is only ever on the Game Boy one, isn't it? It's not on any of the other editions of Tetris. I just presumed it was Tetris theme tune.
And that's not the original. That's not the original Game Boy Tetris theme either.
Is it not?
That's actually the second one. That's version 1.1. There's a different one. In Japan, it was released. I can't remember what they call it, but like, there's a different theme tune, and then they changed it like very shortly after. And that one card, if you get that one with the old tune on it, is like quite rare and kind of expensive. And you can only tell by, like the spire that goes up.
Yeah.
Of is it something St. Petersburg Castle or whatever it is? One of them spears covers a certain letter, so you can only tell by like this one small like print difference.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. But yeah, if you have that's one of the rare ones that you need to. It's not really rare. It's just uncommon.
Is it made by anyone different? Because we had a Gen 1, didn't we, on other systems? But
no, it's still the Nintendo.
Wow.
Was Tetris not originally sort of a PC game that was then ported over?
Yeah. Actually,
well, it was a PC game made by like students. It was a guy in Russia that made it for like just shits and giggles, and then like I think someone from his class like basically sold it for. Oh no, sorry, just Russia just tried selling it underneath him. And because anything that was made in Russia is made for Russia, it's not made for any personal person, is it?
It programmed it on Russian university computers, I believe. So that's why Russia claimed it once it, went viral back in the day.
It's a bit like Snake. Snake was originally PC.
If you read the story of it or watch a video, I'm sure I think Gaming Historian did it. Really interesting. Really interesting.
It is It's the most interesting like video game story, definitely.
Kev was supposed to be on. Hopefully he can make it. He got a Mega Drive for Christmas, the Sonic the Hedgehog collection, and Tasmania, which I remember playing as well. That was a pretty deep. I've got Eddie. You might know, is the Mega Drive version the same as the Game Boy version? Do you know? Is it a part?
Oh right. To be honest, I've not actually played the Game Boy version, so I don't know. Yeah, no, I think it would be different. I think it's different in the Game Gear version. Right. Similar, but like different.
And another one from him. One of the best Christmases, Game Boy, Mario Land and Robocop. Robocop, I did have up here. I've been playing it. It's great on the Game Boy. If you haven't played it.
I didn't know RoboCop came out on the Game Boy, if I'm honest.
It's
I
believe that's the same as the NES one. I could be wrong, but I believe it is. It's just like gimped.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ocean Software classic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good one, that though.
Yeah, you can tell it's like made by like British, or European developers just because of the music that's in it. It's sort of like that. I don't know. I don't know how you call it. but like that kind of like noise that they make, that European developers make, I don't know, very obviously European.
Yeah, not like the Japs. They did good music.
Exactly, yeah.
Paul, you're next.
So I'm going to fast forward a couple of years. I think I was about 6 when I got the wrestling ring. So that would have been 83, 89, 90. So I'm going to fast forward maybe to 91, 92, at which point I was living with my mum and the guy who I'd now consider my dad. He's the guy who's had the most influence on me all my life. But and one Christmas, come downstairs to a NES setup with the Mario and Duck Hunt double game bundle built in. It was all set up for me. I didn't have to open the box and stuff. It was all ready to go, ready to play. I honestly think my dad had been playing on it the night, Eve, but yeah, it was all good already and there to play, and I think that's probably that's the earliest gaming memory I have as well. In playing a game would have been Mario and Duck Hunt. So yeah, I never got a Mega Drive, from when I was talking to Russ, it sounded pretty rare that I had a NES because they weren't that popular in the UK.
No.
Yeah, I got a NES. Obviously a bit later than when it first came out, but still for me, I brought up in a working class family, and getting it was great.
Yeah. No, the microcomputers, a lot of people had C64s and eventually Amigas, but Master System I seem to remember being massive when I was a kid.
Sega was huge over here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Never heard of one of them. What do you call it again?
A Master System.
Master.
No, never had one of them growing up. Definitely. Never heard of it.
So my dad worked for.
How do you boot people?
Yeah, my dad worked for a company called Uniwell. They made a lot of POS systems, so point of sale tills and things. And one day he brought home this awesome IBM green screen PC, and we used to do all sorts of stuff with it. And I'd never bothered with microcomputers or anything like that. It was the NES. The NES was the thing for me. I've always been a console gamer. It's never appealed to me. It's never been something that I've really looked into. Also, Rangers have just scored, just in case anybody wants to know. I've got the football on the other screen. So yeah, that's sort of the next memory that I guess I have as being a great Christmas of having that and coming down to that, and then getting various other games like the Turtles, the first one, which is absolutely rock solid now. But as a kid, it was brilliant. I don't know whether it was that you were better at gaming then, or you just didn't care when you died. Whereas now, I absolutely lose my shit because it pisses me off.
Do you know what I think it is? Just going on a tangent. What I think it is, because I've played Sonic. I used to be pretty decent at Sonic. I've played Sonic since, and I'm absolutely rubbish at it. But it's always the American version that we get these days, which is faster than what we played with before. It could be that.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
See, I always have that it was because we were.
No, I think patience is a lot thinner these days.
Yes. And I think it's because we have these newer games. We just expect these older games to be simple.
Yeah.
Definitely not true.
Limited lives. What's that all about?
Sorry?
Limited lives. What's that all about? You can't respawn 2 seconds before you died. I don't get it. That's what's hard about retro games nowadays. We're just being spoiled.
Yeah. I think that's retro games are hard. Especially the Lion King.
That's a kid's game. You shouldn't be sharing that game.
Yeah, okay.
Go on then, Eddie. Give us
another one. I don't know. like I remember, I always getting like a few games every Christmas, and I always remember like knowing that I'm going to get a couple of games this Christmas. What are they going to be? Because I would always put like a big list, get Argus catalog, ring the circles what I want and everything like that. But obviously, didn't necessarily get everything, just as much as they could afford that year or something like that.
A bit of venom.
Hey,
you said that with a bit of venom.
Yeah, I wanted everything from the book. I wanted all of Argus to come and dump it at my house. But yeah, like, so I always remember the mission of trying to find them presents in the house because there'll be different places every year, and like getting the corners and going, right, what is it? I mean, this is probably why I'm quite good at like spotting box art like these days, because like I would have like literally a pinhole prick to like look through the paper just to see what game it was this year. And so I was quite good at like spotting like what games they are. But yeah, like Sonic 2, when that came out, that was absolutely fantastic. Already had the Mega Drive and everything like that. I just wanted Sonic 2. It was like such a big event and everything like that. Just knowing, because it was like, was it called Sonic Tuesday, wasn't it? I think it was like the November just before Christmas. So Sega like built all this up where there was a release date for a game. Never known a release date for a game ever before this. And so obviously all of us kids around the world was pecking our parents going, we need Sonic 2. And I can remember going around, opening up all these presents, going, is it going to be? And I couldn't find it. I was like, oh shit. They've not got it. They've not got it. I found a couple of other games and everything like that, and I can't remember what they were, to be honest. And then I just remember like Christmas Day feeling a bit dejected and everything like that. And then I opened this one present. It was flipping Sonic 2. I was like, yes! They actually know this is the one game that like I wanted all year, and I just can remember like playing it like constantly for like all of the rest of that Christmas. I remember Christmas dinner, eating as quick as I could so I could go and like just play Sonic 2. It was amazing. Like, and then but what was good about it as well is you could play two players at the same time. So my sister could be like Tails and just go pretend that she's playing, but she's not really. Because it doesn't really matter, does it? But like, I was then playing a Sonic and like absolutely loving it. It was really good. It's such a good game. Like back then, it was pretty groundbreaking. Really, it was doing stuff that we'd never seen before in a platformer. Yeah, I don't know what I got that Christmas. I just know I got Sonic 2. It was amazing.
I can't be the only one that always tries to lose Tails when you're playing, and then constantly jumping so it never gets to land. I just
well, that's one thing actually, Paul. Like you meant like how you mentioned like games like you don't have the same patience and you can't. Everything seems harder to play nowadays. All the old games seem harder. One thing that we used to also do back as kids, because we only had these one or two games at one time, we used to try and break the games, didn't we? Like you say, you'd either try and lose Sonic, so you lose Tails, or you try and get to a place on the screen that you shouldn't be. Like like on the edge, you'll see an edge, and you'll be trying to jump up to it, try and get to it, like, and I'd spend like an hour just trying to get to a certain place on a game. But yeah.
It was a big thing when you found the glitch, wasn't it?
Massive.
Exactly.
And now you don't have to look that hard to find glitches because they release every modding game broken anyway.
Yeah. Just hop in, fall out, and you're good to go.
But like Tony Hawk's games, oh my goodness, that was probably the most explored game I've ever been. Like just trying to flip through walls and stuff like that. Is there anything behind this building? Or like, again, I just wouldn't have that patience nowadays to do anything like that. It's like get the game, put it in, try and complete it, go to the next one. Just don't have that patience that we do like as kids.
It's time as well, though, isn't it? Because now we're adults. We have all this shit we have to do. We can't just get up and play games on a weekend like we used to.
Nice.
And I think that's what it is as well. And I just think, like, as kids, we used to just have all the time in the world, and we just take it for granted.
I'd say kids have ruined that, but then, like, if you're working, it's just part and parcel of being an adult, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't have kids, so that makes my
No, I
life
know,
easier.
but you work though, don't you? And you know,
Yeah, I don't work weekends though either. But
You-
I have
you
other hobbies, things like doing my jiu-jitsu, and I like watching the football, and there's other things other than gaming that I do. So I said if I had no other hobbies or other vices, I could I can spend quite well on video gaming, but that would be boring, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to sit and play for more than like a few hours. I find.
Yeah.
Like as an adult, it's like, oh, I'll have a week off, and I'll be like, really, oh right, I'm going to complete this game. Takes me a week. Still takes me a week to do it. It's like just because I just get procrastinate, try and do something else because it's just hard just sitting there sometimes.
just staring at your phone.
Unless it was accuser, and then you just get addicted, and you just go to all the karaoke bars and start singing and doing all random stuff, become pimps, and
This is still in game, right?
oh shit, no, I thought we were talking about another Christmas again.
Feed Me Chicken, he says, this is a good point, actually, and I never realised I was like that. Always Argos and never Index. Never really liked Index. It was always Argos. I don't know about you guys, but...
I can't remember Index, to be honest.
I can't remember Index.
Do you know?
No.
Just the same as Argos, but yeah.
I do remember Index as a brand, but I don't ever remember seeing them as a shop. I remember them when just at the start of online stuff where they became an online kind of shop.
There was the other one was K's catalog as well, because you had the bras and panties in that one.
We're all acting like we don't know.
Try to see anything.
You don't get that in Argos. It's only the K's one. There's like the top shelf of like the catalogs on it under the bed. Why is K's catalog gone under your bed again, Eddie?
That's a bottom quote, that, if anyone...
That is definitely a bottom quote, yeah.
I know that is. That's what I used to work with. But yeah, so many Christmases, and like the amount of games as well that I've had from Christmas, because that used to be the focus all the time. And I don't know. Did you used to get more and more games as you grew up, or did you get more when you was like smaller, if you like?
I went through a phase when I got to sort of like 15, 16, where I sort of didn't stop gaming, but was into other things. So like I'd get clothes and different things than games and computer games. But I definitely got more computer games as a kid, and probably now. Now I'm like collecting, storing loads of crap.
Yeah. It was a bit grim when you got to that sort of phase and you got money for Christmas and you just sat there with money.
Waiting for the Boxing Day sales, yeah. Waiting for Boxing Day.
Yeah. But yeah, and it was good when you was out like spending it all.
Yeah. But I mean, I think I definitely got more games as I was a kid, because I remember getting the PlayStation 1 about a year after it came out. But that was my first console that I owned. That was mine, that I didn't have to share. So that was pretty big as well. So I got it with I think I got Tomb Raider, possibly Bubsy 3D, which...
Oh.
But then it was great. Because I remember going to school and people saying, oh, have you played Mario 64? And I'm like, no, but I've got Bubsy. thinking it was a good comparison.
Do you know, I played Bubsy on SNES and it was, or was it Mega Drive? Might have been Mega Drive. But yeah, it was actually a decent game.
A decent platformer.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know the hate for Bubsy, because I used to like it as a kid. It frustrated the hell out of me, but I used to like it.
It's 3D though, isn't it? It was awful.
Well, I think
I've never played it.
Yeah, it goes back to what you were saying, Eddie, though, didn't it? We only had certain games, so we had to play them. We had no choice.
No, like as a kid as well, you didn't have that disposable income, did you? But
no.
Yeah, plenty of terrible games. Yeah, go on, Paul. Sorry.
I definitely get more games now as an adult at Christmas than I do when I was a kid. I come from a family of 4. My mum and dad are proper working class, I grew up on a council estate. Now that I'm more, I guess, middle class because of my job and what I earn and stuff. Family tend to buy me more video games because they know it's what I'm going to play and what I'm going to do. And I don't have to wait for them, kind of thing. But, that's not to say that I didn't get the games as a kid. It just wasn't as frequent as I would have liked, like a bit like Eddie. But Eddie sounded like he got his games quite frequently.
Santa used to bring me second-hand games as well.
Oh yeah, to be honest, I got second-hand games as well. Yeah, for Christmas. You wouldn't know as well as a kid. You don't know because, especially Mega Drive, it was never sealed or anything, were they?
Nah.
No, some had that Sega sticker on, didn't they? But other than that, yeah.
I mean, I had, I think, maybe about 8 years ago now, 7 years ago. My mum was looking for something to buy me for Christmas, and we were out shopping. I went to my local retro stall at the time in the market, and I got a Master System and Mega Drive with a load of games for both of them for 50 quid. I was like, and my mum was like, well, you can take them now. I was like, no, wrap them up for Christmas. That's what they were bought for. They're second hand.
We've all done that, yeah.
But I was still sort of collecting then, sort of. But I didn't start getting back into collecting until about 18 months ago now. But then back then, getting a Master System and a Mega Drive now at 50 quid with a load of games from both, you've got no hope.
No chance.
You might get a pad.
So the second half of it, I wanted to talk about what Christmas is like for you now. Because when I was thinking about this topic, I was thinking best Christmases, and I think back to a couple of years ago with my children. I know we can't all talk about this with children, but maybe you can with family. Being a father and seeing your kids opening them presents and getting that excitement from it, and you remember how you was back then.
Yeah,
seeing that is amazing to me. And Nate, I know you've got children. Is it the same for you?
Yes and no, really, because my kids are older now. My eldest is 15, so
okay, right.
So Christmas, when you go through this stage, I think where when you're a kid, Christmas is really exciting, really magical, and then you get to a stage where it's like, oh, it's just Christmas. Then you have kids and they're young, and it's exciting and magical again, and then they grow up. So now we're at that stage again where it's very much just it's another day. They sort of open their presents on the day, and they just start off upstairs, and we don't see them for the rest of the day. When they're little, you get to experience your childhood again, I think.
Yeah, you
and
do.
With the newer toys, the newer figures, and the better stuff that you're like, I wish I had these when I was a kid.
I imagine for you two then that will come back, assuming if and when your kids have grandkids, give you grandchildren.
That's it, yeah.
Last Christmas, my kids got 3DSs, so I thought that to the time when I got my Game Boy, because they both got one, so they didn't have to share it or anything.
Yeah.
It just brought back memories of getting my Game Boy, but obviously seeing their faces as they're opening it and, screaming and oh my God, Mario and stuff like that. It's just fantastic.
But we're a big gamer household. We've got all my kids have got their own PS4s and stuff. And it's just ridiculous now. It's quiet.
What is it?
I mean, what about the other token? What happens if your kids do you get excited about what the kids get you guys? Because if my cats don't get me a PS5 this Christmas, I'm fucking kicking them out.
It's everything goes into the kids really. They're not old enough to get me anything yet. I don't think they care enough to get me anything.
Yeah, definitely are. It'd be my wife that gets me something off the kids. But
yeah.
Eddie, I don't know much about you in this sort of sense, but do you have nephews and nieces that you might have had that sort of experience with?
Yeah, so I mean, at the moment, I go over to my family's for Christmas. So my sister does a big Christmas dinner and shit like that. And she's got like 2 kids herself. But yeah, last Christmas, my nephew got a Switch, so I've been getting him games and stuff. So last year I got him Lion King and got him the Lion King for the Nintendo Switch. And yeah, like they absolutely love it. I mean, it was good to see him get off flipping Minecraft, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it was like I thought, I'll bring him a present that like kind of like reminds me of my youth, as well as like sort of like new to him. And he absolutely loved it because he always respects what Eddie's gaming decisions are like. They're brilliant. Yeah, he thinks I'm like really, I don't know, knows what I'm talking about with video games. I don't know why. But yeah, like this year I've got him Wario, what's it called? WarioWare.
Yeah.
Because I thought that would be quite good to play with him on Christmas Day. So I'm actually really looking forward to that. Again, looking forward to them Christmas memories that was going to get made via video games, which is pretty cool. Which again, it's only something that's happened recently. Now he's old enough.
So are you buying these games for your nephews that you could just take home with you again?
Well, no, because I don't have a Switch, do I? But
take that with you.
You've got plenty of Switch games, though, haven't you? You just don't have a Switch.
Yeah, I've got Switch games. Yeah,
I'm surprised you would have a Switch, but
I don't got a Switch.
No,
I want one. I think that's probably the next. Well, after the S, I don't know. There's so much I want to buy. I might just sell a couple of kids. I might just sell a couple of kids.
Before we get on to selling kids, what about you, Paul?
So yeah, I mean, there was going to be a couple more Christmas things I was going to talk about, but
I can
go on to that. No, I can go on to that. That's where you want to go. I was just going to talk about my same uncle that got me the wrestling ring. He also a couple of years later bought me my first football shirt, and then the other one was I proposed to Laura on Christmas Day. But
that'd have been a good.
Did you say yes?
Well, funny story. No, we were both at her mum's, and we were both like drunk. And we walked home, and she brought this big like bowl of crisps home with her. Obviously, being drunk and eating, and she turned round away from me, and I went down on one knee with the ring, and she turned round. I took her crisps off of her and told her, and she basically just wanted her crisp back. So she didn't say yes there and then, but she did say yes the morning after. So yeah, it was pretty special.
That's nice.
In terms
not
of
as special as the crisps though.
No, obviously not. In terms of where you're going, I have 2 nephews. One's 2 and one's 4. We see a lot of them because we have them two nights a week, just to give my mum a break because my mum looks after them. And then I've also got a stepbrother with my dad who's 3, and they're starting to the 4-year-old he was playing Peggle the other night downstairs on the S with Laura, which is good.
I love Peggle.
Great game.
Laura really loves it. He was watching Laura play Pokemon. So I can't wait for him to get to the stage where he's old enough for me to try and get him into some more stuff. And then my stepbrother, he's I say stepbrother. I don't like that term, but whatever. It's easy to explain it to people that way than my dad's son. But yeah, he plays. They've got a PlayStation 4, and they've been playing Spyro, and he likes to just do the flame constantly with Spyro. So he doesn't actually do any of the running about. He just sits there and he does some running about, but basically just likes the flame coming out. So he's not old enough to understand it properly, but it will be good when they're at that stage, and I can start buying those things and like Eddie, and getting them things that I can play together with them and stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that element of it.
Yeah. What was you going to say about your other Christmases? I'm interested.
So that was it. There was the one where I proposed to Laura, and the other one was my uncle. Obviously, I only support Rangers. I don't support an English club or anything. My uncle's brought me up that way, and my uncle bought me my first football shirt, my first Rangers shirt, which I still have. It's due to be framed. But then I did the same thing with my oldest nephew. I made sure that the first football kit he ever had on his back was a Rangers football kit. Because there's no way I'm going to let him support any other team. He's definitely never becoming a Celtic fan, that's for sure. But yeah, it wasn't going to be anything majorly interesting.
All right. Well, I don't know. I quite like the proposal story. That must have been an awkward night for you, though, if she said yes in the morning.
Well, we were both drunk, so we both just went to bed. I just assumed. I might have assumed in my head she said yes, but she didn't actually say yes. I still had the ring. She didn't have the ring on or anything. so yeah, it was funny.
Should have put it in the crisp bowl.
Yeah, but I'd have been lucky to get it off her. But throughout that day, I had this planned in my head, and it wasn't because I couldn't get her anything for Christmas because I already bought her Christmas presents. But I took time to go and talk to her granddad and get her granddad's permission and stuff like that. So, her granddad could have given the game away straight away, but he didn't, thankfully, because he's quite good at giving the game away of a lot of things as a granddad. But yeah, it was. It wasn't awkward because the morning after I woke up and she had said yes, it was just we were both drunk and didn't actually get the answer there and then.
It's the final answer that counts, though, isn't it? She got there eventually.
Dana's in. Sorry, wrong one. There you go. Bill from Game Made of Cardboard.
I don't know.
We haven't had any questions or anybody saying what their best Christmas is, or not for a bit anyway. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Actually, my wife's birthday is Christmas Day as well, so I can't ever forget that. But luckily, Christmas overshadows her birthday, so I kind of get away with it.
Well,
so how do you celebrate that?
It's we just forget about her birthday. It's about Christmas, especially now with the kids.
So she gets his birthday was Christmas Day.
One big present.
Just joined up.
Just one big present, and then the rest of it's Christmas.
So that must have been terrible for her when she was a kid. Like when you're an adult, it's not so big of a thing, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's like it is what it is. But as a child, it must be the worst day in the world to be born on.
I think as an adult, if your birthday's on Christmas Day, you're going to forget about your birthday, aren't you? You don't want to be getting older.
Yeah.
No, I know friends who had birthdays near Christmas growing up at school, and they would always have like a second birthday, one that they would celebrate away from Christmas, sort of like an unofficial birthday. Yeah,
like the Queen.
So, yeah, exactly.
I thought that was a weird thing. There's a guy who I used to work with. His son's birthday's Christmas Eve, I think, and they did that. They gave him a separate birthday in the middle of June, just to break it up.
We're lucky in that respect, aren't we, Paul? Slap bang in the middle of the year.
Exactly 6 months for me between my birthday and Christmas. So
yeah.
See, I think if I had a kid on Christmas Day, I just wouldn't tell them they were born on Christmas Day. I'd just tell them it was June.
I think they'd sleep on the
Surely, if you have a child born on Christmas Day, you call him Jesus. If it's a boy,
you would, wouldn't
or
you?
no?
I definitely would.
I'd call it Kevin. Kevin.
We've got one from Game Zone Bedroom here. Another awesome Christmas was 2019 when my missus recaptured 91 Christmas, but surprising me with a Mega Drive Mini. Oh, right, I'm with you. Yeah. But I couldn't play in the as not long.
I don't own any of the minis. I don't own a single mini console.
I haven't got the Mega Drive one, but I've got both the Nintendo and SNES. NES and SNES one.
I've got the PlayStation one. It's sat in a drawer doing nothing at the minute. But
that was the one I was interested in, and then I saw the games released on it, and I was like, "It's terrible."
Yeah, but you can mod it super easy. It's like literally 5 minutes. Plug a USB stick in, it's done. Unplug it, and it's back to normal again. You don't have to do anything to it. So yeah, it's really good. I've got a Mega Drive and a PlayStation, and they cost me like 20 quid from the car boot box. So pretty pleased. They're good. For 20 quid, you don't mind it.
All you're doing
I played the Mega Drive one a fair bit. The Mega Drive one's pretty good. There's quite a good selection of games. You got like the Wonder Boy game that never came out over here.
Oh,
and I've been playing that one just recently. It's pretty good.
We'll have to get that. Bill says his best Christmas was getting a Triceratops from a car boot sale. His parents were absolutely skint. 1987, that was. I had the best time. When I told my parents years later, they were nearly in tears. That's a little story, that.
I do think
car boot sale was on Christmas Day.
I think that's one of the things about adults, though, isn't it? As adults, I think we worry about what we're getting our kids all the time. Like, is it enough? Is it this? And they actually don't give a crap.
No,
as long as they get something, it doesn't really matter.
No, that's true, actually, because you know, Mum were asking for some really weird and wonderful things, and you know, some of them didn't even exist. I don't think I couldn't find them in the shops, but as long as you get them something, like you say, they're happy.
Was they asking to get meth lab so they can make some blue crap?
Yeah, he had a goatee as well and bald head.
Paul brought up something interesting about if this is truly the last physical generation. What do we get our kids in like 5 years' time when they want a new game? Do we just buy them a voucher for a PlayStation wallet or an Xbox wallet?
It will be, won't it?
Yeah, you wrap up like digital codes. It's just a piece of wrapping paper.
Get it printed as a jigsaw puzzle. Put that together, and you could have it.
Yeah. There's nothing.
That's actually a pretty good idea. I like it.
But I just think it's going to take the magic of Christmas away from the youngsters if it all goes digital.
Yeah, no religion in the stream, thanks.
We did enough of that yesterday.
Yeah. Talking of which, I got the snowman today because of that stream. So I'm going to go watch that again sometime.
Pull him back out of Room 101.
Film. We watch it.
Wasn't that the only one that went into Room 101?
I pulled it back out though because it was the season of Goodwill.
Who throws that into Room 101? It's fantastic.
It's depressing.
I did. It's not.
I mean, the voice actors wasn't too much bag, were they?
The animation, as a piece of animation, it's fantastic. We did the film streams yesterday.
We're not talking about Snowman again. Well, actually, my favourite Christmas was when I watched the Snowman on the television.
Well, no, I mean, like encompassing the best part of your best Christmas, it could actually be watching the films with your family.
The thing is, there's a Christmas telly stream coming up, isn't there? And I mean, that's going to be quite interesting.
Oh, right. Well, we won't delve into that. Then.
Yeah. Because that is part of Christmas, isn't it? What you do with your family.
Here you go. Take some code under the tree.
It's going to get bad. But
it is. I think I saw... Sorry, I'm just going back through the comments. There was something about... couch co-op. I mean, that was Christmas for me as well, because it was one of the times that I could actually do a game with my dad, because he used to work night shifts and things like that. Something I kind of remember. And
Streets of Rage 2 couch co-op was always good.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah. It just, I don't know, really special memory for that, for me, for that, because like my dad was a big gamer. like the Amiga was his, and then the PC was his when we finally got one. He was big into RPGs, but it was nice to play games like that, and you know, Tetris Challenge, a Columns Challenge, where we have to score things like that. Any memories like that for you, Log?
I think our kids are lucky nowadays, though, because when I was a kid and I got stuck on a game, my dad was terrible because they'd never had anything before it. But nowadays, my kids can come to me, and I might be terrible, but I'm better than he was. So they have a fighting chance of getting past certain things.
Sorry, go on, Paul.
I co-op with my dad. He used to play, wasn't very co-op-ish, but he used to play a game called Beachhead 2000 and on PC. And we used to play that together. If he got stuck, I would help him out, and vice versa. But my dad isn't very good at gaming. Much the same, I think. Nephews will be lucky. They can come to me, and if they're stuck on something, I might be able to help them. Although it depends on what it is, because I'm not the greatest gamer, as we've seen. I have to agree with Nate there. Kids are lucky that they're growing up in a generation, or not every kid, but most kids are going to have parents who have gamed in some fashion. And I'm not talking about a mum who's been on the game.
Yeah.
How do you think we got our Christmas presents as kids?
My kids are better than me at gaming anyway, if I'm honest. It's probably going to be me asking them now to get past levels.
Well, my first gaming present I ever remember getting, well, I don't remember getting it. It's more of a story. And it's like on my second birthday, I got an Atari 2600 for my Christmas present. And it's like, when you think about it, it's like, I don't think that was actually a present for me. I think that was a present for my dad. But yeah, my dad, other than that, never really played games too much. So yeah, you're quite lucky to be able to play like co-op games with your dads, because I can imagine that would be quite a pretty cool experience, because you always want to impress your parents, don't you? Or like spend a bit of time with them sometimes when you're a kid. But yeah, no, I would randomly get moments like that on the Amiga where there'd be certain games that he would play. The only games that he would play on the Amiga is like backgammon. That was about it. But like because of that, I used to like playing backgammon as a kid on the Amiga. This one version of backgammon, I used to love it.
I can imagine your mum and dad going out to buy this Atari now, and your mum going, "Isn't he a bit young for that?" And your dad going, "Nah, love, it's fine."
The thing is, that's exactly what I would do now if I had a kid. PS5, 1 year old.
He's six months.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
My memory of the past is becoming confused with present. To my reliving the past tends to erase history. Interesting subject. I don't quite know how to answer that one.
I think
the only thing I can compare that with, I play Football Manager big time, and I sometimes think that some of the transfers on that have translated to real life, but that's about the best I can come up with that one.
Football Manager's a full-time job, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's on my CV. Steve.
But yeah, I played last year's Football Manager, and I watch a few Football Manager YouTubers, but it's just a commitment. I haven't got time for it anymore.
You've got to be watching the king of Football Managers in Big Game Al, doing well with Peterborough.
He's on a cruise at the minute. They're doing unspeakable things, isn't he? So.
No, we did a pickup video yesterday, so it can't be dragging too many birds. Also, old ladies.
That was Barney, weren't it?
Yeah, you can't break your streak, can you? Can't break your streak. It's not like he's going to comment on the videos anyway, is it? But yeah, Football Manager, it's quite an easy one for me, because like I'll put it in, it pops up Football Manager. I'm like, shit, wrong game, and then put that back in.
Streets of Rage series is probably my favourite co-op memories as a kid with housemates, and even last year with the new one that came out with my neighbour. Yeah, I can't deny that, but also GoldenEye is one that probably most of us remember.
Oh, GoldenEye 64 was amazing for couch co-op. Not
Oh,
allowed to look at each other's screen. Can't use our job.
No headshot.
Never had job.
Yeah.
No. Most of us, but Eddie. Mario Kart as well was my favourite. Still is Mario Kart 8.
I've never been a big fan of Mario Kart, if I'm honest. I think the only kart racer I got into was Sonic.
A lot of
You need to have 4 of you playing Mario Kart to really appreciate how good it is.
Yeah.
Because when you get 4 of you all sat next to each other, like wrestling to like get in front of that 14-inch TV, it's something special. But yeah, GoldenEye, I never got into that because for me, I was a gamer, and like seeing 007, it was like it's like an older person's thing. It just like it never got me intrigued, so I missed out on GoldenEye.
See, I was the reverse to you because I missed out on a lot of the Disney games growing up as a kid because I was allowed to like watch any movies that I wanted to watch as long as it was okay with my dad. So I was watching stuff like RoboCop and Aliens and stuff from a really young age. So I saw Disney games as childish, so I missed out on them.
I always saw them with the girls because there was a lot of singing. I never really bothered with Disney. Always Warner Brothers. But
yeah, I mean, GoldenEye was the game of my uni days. Really, we, in the shared house that we had a TV set up downstairs. We had N64 that one of the lads had brought. We used to play GoldenEye 4-player on a Saturday, get absolutely shit-faced before we went to the Union, and it was brilliant. And yeah, all those rules that Nate said, yeah, no headshots, no odd job, they'd all be there, and not looking at other people's screens. Yeah, okay, that's not the easiest thing to do, but
you're clearly looking at my screen. No way you knew I was there.
I've seen interesting like contraptions set up at times where we'd have cardboard splitting the screens and things.
Did anyone actually really do that? Surely that wasn't something that people did.
We did it at uni. It wasn't
really.
It wasn't the best. Well, just lads pissed up.
You see, I did it back to front of you because, like, we're talking about Mario Kart. I had 2 iterations of that. I did growing up, where it was amazing, and then again at university, like all them years later, because someone went to Cash Converters, came back with like an N64 and Mario Kart for like 10 quid probably. I wouldn't have spent more than that. And yeah, we would go out, get pissed, and then come back and play Mario Kart while we're all fucked. And it was so much competitiveness. There'll be about 8 of us that would come and like take it in turns, lose their fucks off. But yeah, it was quite good.
I used to be reasonably good at Mario Kart, I would say, and then I went to Arcade Club. Remember when they used to have the Wii U set up and the couch with Mario Kart on there, and I got absolutely hammered by some 12-year-old, and that was it. I was having none of it. I went to the bar.
Well, it definitely wasn't Feed Me Chicken who beat you, was it?
I don't know. I don't know what he looks like because he doesn't ever want to say hello to anybody, especially places like Doncaster.
Maybe he's a 12-year-old child in disguise.
Al is a great football manager, or a great manager. If you class great as letting the computer pick your team for you and do very little other than pay your players too much and play your defender. Yeah, pretty good. What other co-op games? I did used to play Turtles, the arcade game.
Golden Axe I used to play a lot with the mate.
Golden Axe, yeah, that was a great co-op game.
Yeah, it was quite fun. But we always used to end up like leathering each other and then arguing.
Yeah, of course.
So, but I think the Mega Drive, because obviously the Mega Drive was big in the UK, same as the Master System.
Master.
And, but I think like stuff like Golden Axe and Streets of Rage and stuff was definitely something I grew up playing with mates because it was just the only games we had. Streets of Rage 2 I have massive fun memories for, which is why I was so glad when they brought 4 out last year that it had the couch co-op option as well, and it wasn't just all online.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Was number 4 better than I thought it was going to be?
I think it's my favourite in the series, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have said that, but I just can't. I don't know. I think nostalgia wins too much for me. I can see how it's better, but the music's good, but it's just not. To me, it's not quite as memorable yet. But I had quite a good co-op session where there was 4 of us. Was it 4 of us playing it one morning? We had Big Game Al, we had Scott. What's his name? I can't remember. Glory Hunter. Me and someone else played it. I can't remember who it was, but there was like 4 of us all playing it one morning, hung over to fuck, playing it, and then it took like 2 hours to go through it, and we got beat by the last boss. All of us just like lost all our lives. I was like, oh shit. And then we was like, shit, we could have gone to the car boot, bastard.
On Christmas Day.
Yeah, Christmas Day.
Was this would have been after the last arcade club meet, wouldn't it?
It was, yeah.
I don't know who else was at your house, but maybe Dylan. Maybe you let him out the cellar.
That must have been it, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Time
it's
Splitters.
great for that.
Time Splitters is a great shout for couch co-op.
Yeah,
for
it's a great
multiplayer games. It's always overlooked, that one is, isn't it? No one seems to mention Time Splitters or its sequel.
I need to play it. I missed out on that. Was at a time of gaming that I didn't do any of it, so I missed the Time Splitter games.
Another first-person shooter from that sort of era is 13. I know it had a re-release, but yeah,
The re-release is shite.
Yeah, I've heard. I've not played it, but
The original was good though.
yeah, really good. If you haven't played that's good.
The graphics are phenomenal for that. I like the art style is very good.
I've got 13 comic book down there somewhere.
Oh, have you? I didn't know they did one, but makes
It's
sense.
from an E3. It's from an E3. It's from an E3 event.
Wow, that's actually pretty impressive.
Not that I went, right, but
Yeah, the Cube Mario Kart as well was a good one. The Double Dash, wasn't it?
Double Dash in amazing.
it's all right. I don't know.
I've only played one Mario Kart, and that's the Mario Kart 64.
You not played the SNES one?
No, I didn't have a SNES growing up. I didn't have it. To be fair, I think I've never actually owned a SNES.
Get yourself out there. Tell your missus, right, SNES for Christmas. Get it now.
I've got a Retron 5 though, so that does me, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it's
Mario
a
Kart
system
8.
you need to visit. It really is fantastic. Yes, I
Paul,
think
what you were going to say then, Mario Kart 8 is the best one. Yeah, you're right.
I don't think it's the best one, but it's good.
Oh, that's not what you was going to say. I thought you were going to say how amazing it was.
It probably sits second for me after Double Dash. I really like Double Dash.
I like Double Dash.
It was something brand new. It was a brand new concept to Mario Kart that it's never been repeated, and I really like it. But Mario Kart 7 was really good as well, but 8's just something else. And I don't have it.
Sorry.
You'd say a game that Mario Kart's never done before. Mario Kart 8 goes flipping upside down. No other Mario Karts go upside down. That was amazing. That is probably it is one of my most played Mario Karts. It's the most single player played Mario Kart that I've ever played. I think the SNES and the N64 was always like competitive, like with friends, but like Mario Kart 8, no one played video games when that came out. None of my mates, especially Wii U. No one had a Wii U. So like, yeah, it was just Mario Kart on my own.
I know it's the cool thing to love at the minute, but I really like my Wii U.
A lot of the games for the Switch are just Wii U ones, aren't they?
Exactly.
That it was what the Switch. It became the Switch.
Yeah.
Except it's bigger. It's got a much bigger screen.
The Switch is just the Wii U 2, really, isn't it?
Yeah, realistically.
Well, that's just like the middle ground between the Wii and the Switch. It's
the
Wii box with a Switch controller, basically. But yeah, it's the genesis of it, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I really like it.
Good point. Mario Kart on the Wii, I really enjoyed that one as well with the spoilers. I like
Fucking hate that game. So many blue shells. You can't play that and actually have skill at it because there's too many blue shells.
It was the gimmick more than anything, I think. I used to really enjoy the steering wheel thing. And then I don't even bother with that on the Switch. So, yeah, I think John's just mentioned that. I had to plug in a Cube controller. I really like it.
I used to use the nunchuck and controller.
I think I'm kind of at an end now. But have you got any other stories to tell? Anyone?
I'm out.
If you're all out, then we'll say our goodbyes. But I've really enjoyed this stream, to be honest.
I've had a good laugh.
Yeah, it's been really.
You've got to keep Eddie here another 15 minutes though for being.
Yeah, I've got another 15 minutes. Come on. So, what Christmas is he looking forward to going to? What do you want from Christmas going forward? Go on, Griffo.
Pardon?
It's fine.
So I have a question then. So
yeah, go on.
What does we're now in the modern day. So we're now in the present. For each of us, what do you do now at Christmas if without giving away much personal detail? You know, what's your general Christmas day now?
Okay, I'll start. It's all on the kids. It's all about the kids. I'll just wake up with the kids, and then we have to make sure that we're all there. So if the wife's still asleep, we try and wake her up without making it obvious. And then it's just about opening the presents and going from there really. Although it's my wife's birthday, her present openings when the kids are opening theirs, I guess, and but from there we just stay in. We have because my wife's family's all abroad except her sister's in London, and my mum will come over maybe, not always, and it's just about the family with us. I don't know about like you lot, but just immediate family.
Well, I'm really looking forward to Christmas this year because I work retail, so I only usually get one day off.
Ooh.
But this year I've got Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Boxing Day off.
Nice.
I don't know how I've managed that, but I have. But it's pretty much similar to yourself. If we get up, kids open their presents, I cook the dinner, and me and the wife just celebrate over night time. Then a few beers. But this year, at least I can get really smashed. My kids are old enough to look after themselves in the morning.
But that's it, isn't it? It's more about the kids when you have them.
It is, yeah.
So it'd be nice to wear your family.
It's tiring as a parent, I think, Christmas.
Yeah.
Especially when they're young. By the time 8 o'clock comes, you just like, oh.
Oh yeah, you got to have your Christmas snooze after your dinner. It's like you wiped out, aren't you? Even if you've not made it yourself, you're still knackered.
Yeah.
It must be the only time you really sleep, though, Eddie.
No, I sleep before and during streams.
It's also the only day of the year, isn't it? You can get up and legit get on the booze, and no one judges you for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Bailey's in your coffee in the morning.
Sherry, and then just go on to the red wine.
Well, this year is going to be the first Christmas Eve that I've not worked nights for like 7 years. So, like, I'm actually quite looking forward to it, but I think I'm going to like waste it at the same time. Because one of the things I used to love about Christmas was going out and getting absolutely off my face on Christmas Eve, like with my friends, just getting completely fucked. And then like Christmas Day, rocking up at my parents or whatever, whoever's cooking Christmas dinner at that time, and then just like being hungover all morning, waiting for the Christmas dinner to like revivals. But in revivals for like 5 minutes, and then like would be asleep again, and then we'll be getting on it again later that night. So this year it's like I've got Christmas Eve, actually got Christmas Eve, but I've got a feeling I'm just going to be like, I can't be arsed. I'm just going to go over for Christmas Day. I don't know. Still not.
Live
I'm
stream
not
your Christmas Eve.
Sorry?
Live stream your Christmas Eve.
Yes.
I think there is a live stream Christmas Eve. Check the schedules.
Oh yeah, big game, Al.
Extravaganza.
Oh god.
That's like if he's died of STIs by then, anyway.
Is it just going to be him showing us his holiday slides?
It better not be.
No, that's already happening, mate. We're getting that live as it is, anyway.
It's pretty terrifying, if I'm honest.
He did send us one picture of a fit old lady. He claimed was a fit old lady, but he only sent us a picture from 1978. So,
No, I found a picture of her, didn't I? I sent it in the group.
oh yeah.
That one.
That
was
going
all
on my
right.
Christmas memories. That's not going on my Christmas memory list. I want to know how he got this picture of this woman from 1978. How did that even come up in conversation with her? Do you know, I need a photo to send to my friends, but you can't look like you do now. I need one when you look good.
Has he seriously gone on his own?
No, he's with his family.
Oh, all right, that's all right
He's with his brothers-in-laws, isn't he? I think.
Yeah, his sister, his brother-in-law, I think his mum. I think might be his dad's birthday or something.
then. All right.
It's something they've had arranged for ages. Talking to him, but yeah, he's gone with family.
Go on then, Paul. What are you doing this year?
It's generally the same every year. So we were discussing in the WhatsApp group about me painting my beard. So with me having young nephews, I tend to paint my beard in different colours and have baubles and stuff in it that light up and flash and have bells on. That starts the morning. We then we'll open all of our presents here, me and Laura together, and then go to Laura's mum's and open up there. Then, depending on if I've had a Bailey's coffee or a drink in the morning, Laura will drive to my hometown. We'll go and see my mum, my dad, that side of the family, and then come back, park the car up, and then just do what everybody else does: eat Christmas dinner and be merry.
Watch Toy Story. That's on every year.
Watch what? Sorry.
Toy Story. It's on every year, isn't it?
Well, so funny story. I think it was till about the 5th year. So when me and Laura were first got together, we got together in the August, and then we split the first Christmas, but the second Christmas we do now what we normally been doing because we were living together and stuff then. And every year I managed to persuade Laura's stepdad that we had to put the Queen's speech on at 3:00, and he used to get really annoyed by it. I managed to persuade him. It took about 4 or 5 years for me to turn around and tell him I was actually just winding him up. I don't really need to listen to the Queen's speech.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. But yeah, normally spend with the in-laws on Christmas Day. Just me and the father-in-law drink a lot of Bacardi and Coke. Future father-in-law, if you want to put it that way, and just have a laugh. And then
so yours is Bacardi and Coke. What's everyone else's Christmas tipples? What do you drink at Christmas?
Mine's rough as hell. Me and the missus usually drink Sambuca.
Nice. Well, I mean, you are like Caribbean way anyway, aren't you?
Yeah.
You are like on holiday every day. So.
Just living the dream on my beachside property in Grimsby.
It's on a beach.
Yeah, yeah, it is. You're right.
Have you ever been to Grimsby Beach? It's like half of it's just quicksand.
I've been to Grimsby. Never again.
The only thing I know about Grimsby is there were 2 brothers from it. They both got stuck inside an elephant.
That's amazing. That's a pretty good film. Actually, quite a good film, right? No one ever talks about it either.
I had to
Not
work
much
a
wrong
week
with it.
in Grimsby, and I used to work in a pawnbrokers that used to do second-hand things before you say anything, Eddie. And yeah,
Second-hand boxes.
and yeah, the people we got in were a bit rough, you know, and it was in a bit of a rough part of town. So I maybe didn't see the best bits of Grimsby, put it that way. A lot of people were from Cleethorpes as well that
I
came
don't
in.
think
I
there is any
don't
best
think there
bit.
is a good part of Grimsby, is there?
I didn't hang around to look. A question off Retro Bear then. What did you ask for Christmas and what will you get instead? And I'm not dodging the question here, but I haven't asked for anything yet.
I've not either.
I put together an Amazon list that's been going for years, and it's shared with the family. I just dump stuff in there, and if they buy me anything from it, great. If not, I'm always happy with whatever I get generally.
Oh, that's
Apart
not a
from
bad
one-
idea, actually.
Apart from
The
one
new
year,
page catalog, isn't it? The Amazon wish list.
They have,
you don't
they
get
have
bras,
bras
you don't
on
get
there.
bras and panties in the Amazon wish list though.
That's in a different account, isn't it?
That's my Kerry Katona OnlyFans account.
Part where you leave Grimsby is the best part.
The problem is when you leave Grimsby, it doesn't leave you for ages because the smell just lingers for quite some time.
He
Just
lives in
fish.
Rochdale. He can't talk.
I know. I've been to Rochdale as well, and I can't imagine going from Grimsby to Rochdale. I honestly wouldn't know what would be the best option there.
Just break down on the side of the road like I would just stay there.
I couldn't believe when I went to the rugby in Rochdale and there was a half-price pound shop. It was a pound shop outlet. I've never seen anything like that. 50p.
And I bet
You're
you
in
still
your
got
element being a Yorkshireman then.
but you still got
I know,
people
I
over
was
there
all
getting
over
it.
Fill the car up, lads. There you go, £10.
Christmas sorted.
Yeah, so for Christmas this year, I've asked for a Nintendo 64. Nintendo 64! What I'll get for Christmas this year is Amazon vouchers. 'Cause I get it every year.
I thought you asked for a PS5 from your cats.
Oh yeah, no, I've not told them. If they don't know, then they're getting booted.
Have you really asked for an N64?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't being sarcastic. I thought you'd have had one.
Yeah, to be
I've got
fair,
one. Can have multiple. You can have.
Yeah.
I want a fantastic grape one, RGB modded.
Okay.
So if anyone's out there that wants to send me that for Christmas, I've just asked now.
Mitch, I'd forward that to Al. He might do it.
I can send you an Xbox 360. Got plenty of them.
I've got plenty of them as well.
I can send you a Wii.
Who wants? Yeah, but who wants 360? No one wants that.
I can send you a Wii. Nintendo. What?
Everyone seems to have a 360. Seems to have loads of them. I've got 2 broken ones.
I have one broken
Most
one
people
and
do.
6 working. 7 including my one that's set up.
John says another good Christmas memory is getting Metroid Fusion for the GBA. It was my first Metroid game, followed by Prime. Made me fall in love with the series. I hope you still got that because the Metroid games on the GBA are quite pricey.
Going up at night, yeah.
Super Metroid was my first experience of Metroid, and I really, really enjoyed it. The Metroid games on the Cube are really good as well.
So I've
Not
never
something
really.
I've really got into, to be honest, but I might give Dread a go.
Dread looks really good.
Yeah, I might give it a go if I can get it cheap enough.
But I've never really been into handheld games, if that's honest. I had the Game Boy, and I've got a PSP, but I don't play it, if I'm honest. I don't have enough time. If I'm playing a game, I'm usually sat down doing it anyway.
I
That's what
mainly
put me off the Switch.
do it at work, handheld gaming, and if I'm in bed, but I do handheld game a lot. Probably more than on a system.
Here you go. For Christmas, I got myself this.
Whey!
You just is that what? It just
So
goes-
I literally completed Metroid Fusion last week. That was like the first time I played it. Really good game. Actually quite hard as well. It's actually quite hard. But yeah, quite really beautiful game for the Game Boy Advance. But yeah, I had Metroid on the NES. That was like one of my first games that I got because I got it in a big bundle with like about 10, 15 games or something. And that was one of the games. And oh man, that's so atmospheric. Coming from 2600 games to that is like, whoa, such a big like leap.
Yeah, it's
fantastic series.
It's one of the NES games I bought from Al. Not played Metroid.
Can someone ban Chiller, please? Can you boot him from the stream or something?
Chili is a true Sony pony.
He might end up with one randomly.
Or Secret Santa.
Somebody's ended up with a Barcode Battler at some point because I've managed to buy one because of the stream the other night. And
Dana said it ruined his Christmas one year.
I remember the Barcode Battler, and I remember having really high hopes for it and like cutting off the barcodes off everything in the cupboard, and then none of them worked.
Yeah, it didn't work on every single one, did it?
No, it was shite. You promised these powerful monsters from Kellogg's Cornflakes and nothing.
Yeah.
Talking of the Barcode Battler, we've got Barcode Battler for the Super Nintendo here.
He owns a barcode battler for the Super Nintendo, but not a Switch, but Switch games.
That's a game. Got Switch, loads of Switch games. I've already got about 10.
Is it? It's the Saturn, isn't it? That Al's got a load of games for, but he doesn't actually have a Saturn.
He does have a Saturn now, I think.
Oh, right.
I never owned a Saturn.
I own one, but I've turned it on twice since I bought it.
It's really expensive.
That's because you were a 16. You're wrong.
Sorry?
It's because you're an Xbox kid and you're wrong.
No, it's because I can't find Saturn games at 50p anymore. That's the problem.
That was pretty impressive, to be fair.
This one.
That was a one-off, and it's never happening again.
Exhumed.
There's your 50p Saturn game, just right in front of me.
It's gone to a good home.
Right, it's getting played. That's why it's currently the game I'm playing on the Saturn. So, cheers, man.
More than welcome. It was 50p sat on my shelf doing nothing. So,
well, I've got a £2 game to give to you, or was it a £1 game? So when we see you next, well, I better tell you before you buy it. Then
someone boot Dana as well, please. Thank you. But yeah, we'll end it there. I want to go to bed anyway, but these nights are late. But I've got to say, I've really enjoyed it. Speaking to you, if I wasn't tired, I could do it all night. Really enjoyed it, and I've got to thank you both. I've got to thank all three of you because Eddie did turn up. For coming on. I do appreciate that.
I'm ready for another 5 hours, Griff. I don't know what you're talking about.
So just to appease the Geordie slasher.
Oh, okay.
I received a present in the mail from some Geordie bastard that lives in Sunderland, and I received this. So not only did he send me Sex and the City 2, he's now sent me Sex and the City as well. He did send me this game to play, but
I think we should all send Paul Sex and the City DVDs when we find them in CX for like 20p.
Sex and the City. But yeah, going back to that, I've really enjoyed it, and I thank you all for coming on. So, do we know what's on either tomorrow or the next day?
Where are we?
Something.
I can tell you in a second.
Is it Duncan? Yeah, check out. I think Game Zone Bedroom's doing all the adverts and things like that and promotion. We'll just find out.
I know. This time next week on the Wednesday, it's Christmas present opening time.
Oh, it is, isn't it? I hope everyone's got
the Secret Santa unveiling. What could we have sent and who could we receiving?
You might get an N64.
Bedroom is still in the chat. It'd be nice for him to tell us who's next. Because I can't remember.
It's definitely not me. I'm not streaming. It would never happen if I did.
That's fine.
But anyway, I'll let Paul look for that. But yeah, I don't know if any of us will be on any of the streams later on. So hopefully so. If not, we'll probably all see you on the Secret Santa edition and then on Big Game Owls. I assume we're all on Big Game Owls.
According to the thing that was put into the group earlier, tomorrow is favourite Christmas song with Game Zone Bird Room.
Oh, we've done that.
Yeah, we did do that, yeah.
Oh, crap. No, I don't know then. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, keep your eyes peeled then.
Could be anyone then.
Bear, 17th.
That's
There we
Friday
go.
then.
That's Friday, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the Christmas TV one then.
So yeah, please everyone tune in to Retro Bear on Friday. He always puts on a good stream. So
And then so it's Burr, and then we've got Martin coming up doing another stream. Steve Cooper's World doing Christmas food and drink. Secret Santa, and then Big Game Owls Extravaganza. I think that's 12.
The quiz. What about the quiz?
Well, oh yeah, sorry, and Jim Corbana's quiz.
What day is that one? Monday, is it?
The 20th, that is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody can join in on it as well with the way he set it up, based on what he was saying. So you don't even have to be. It's not going to be on StreamYard or anything. I don't think it's just anybody can jump in and get involved. It'll be on some.
Is he not doing it? Is he not doing it like a StreamYard where there's a few of us, and then like he's got an app set up, Anti, so you can go on it and you can't basically. We'll just be putting it straight into there.
I honestly don't know how he's doing it. So, but other people, anybody in the comments should be able to play along as well, I believe.
sounds good.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
So yeah, plenty. So yeah, I'll take my leave. Thank you very much, guys. And I won't see you all, but anyone in the comments who I may not see again, have a wonderful Christmas. And keep your eyes peeled for the rest of the Christmas streams that are happening, because they've all been really good so far. All right, so see you later, guys.
See you later. Merry Christmas.